This is Obi-Dub Kenobi, and also known as Snell D58, coming to you with a new video on recognizing defenses and some quick beaters for them. So one of the good things that I like about Strong Close is it's very easy to see what defense your opponent is in, unless they're very good. And most of my tips are for people who are, maybe below average to average and wanting to get a little bit better, okay? So some people aren't good at reading defenses. I recommend Strong Close because you basically can always tell what they're in. Unless they do baseline shenanigans, you can almost always tell. So I'm going to go through some different formations, show you what to look for, and let you, that way that you can see what defense they're probably in. So the audibles that I'm using for Strong Close are FL Drive, HB Zone Wink, PA Scissors, and Deep Cross. I sometimes use FL Drive, I sometimes use Stretch, depending on what my opponent is doing a lot, but the main audibles that I use is PA Scissors, and then Zone Weak, obviously, if I want to run. But the play I always come out in is a wide receiver out. It's an extremely good base play to run. As you can see, I've run it, 2,900 times. It's an awesome play. So let's start out in wide receiver out. And the first thing we're going to go against is what most people who aren't, are either bad to regular, a lot of people love cover 4 drop show 2. It's very easy to run. It's very safe defense. So we're going to come out in that. So this is what the defense looks at first, okay? Now, I run a wide receiver at fullback because I pass the ball a lot. I don't run very much. But if you have someone like Franco Harris or something like that, they are completely serviceable at fullback. Or you can even use a running back. So what I always do almost every play is I motion out my wide receiver or my fullback. And as you can see, the first hint that we saw here is that outside linebacker moved out. Okay, so that tells us he's probably on a zone. And with the 4 DBs that are backed off the line and sort of not even, but they're not even, but they're within 5 yards of each other. Okay, so that shows us it's probably cover 4. So what does that tell us? Okay, it means that they're going to be dropping back, and that's going to leave our flats for quick passes. Okay, so a setup that I like to use, this is my base setup. If I don't know what defense they're in, or if I know I'm going to be throwing to my flat, this is what I use. So the first thing I'm going to do, and the first thing if you're going to run Strong Close, you want to get good at swerve catching with your fullback, and what that is this. So you pass, right after you hike it, you bullet pass it to your fullback, pass leading it up. Okay, and if you don't swerve catch, this is what it looks like. It's a bit of an animation. They get there really fast. Okay, but if you get good at swerve catching it, you can get better rack animations and get upfield a lot faster, okay? And some people, they'll click on that cornerback and they'll take a bad angle and you can get a big play off of it. So that's the first thing I do. If somebody's running cover 4, I'm going to start hammering this. Now, obviously, obviously you want to keep an eye, because if they do something tricky, like, let's say, what most people will do is they'll select that linebacker and they'll move him out even further and maybe put him on a hard flat. Okay, so let's pretend he did that, since I don't have 2 controllers. What's your next look on this play? Well, your next look is going to be the tight end. Okay, so if you look at this here, he's going to get over top that linebacker, and that other linebacker is going to stay down on your hitch. Okay, so that leaves him, the tight end, wide open. So if they're not using this tight end, he's going to be wide open. You can rack it and get going. Okay. Now, if they use that, okay, what's your next look? Well, you can either move the hitch, okay, or run the ball. Or some people, you keep an eye on the reason why you got this curl out here to the right is if they user that right side middle linebacker, then he's going to be wide open. You see that that right inside linebacker, he's wide. If he's using that guy to use your tight end, he's going to be wide open. So that's what I got for cover. Oh, another thing here. If they start moving that, let's say moving out that linebacker and putting him in a flat, and he's using that tight end. Another thing you can do is you can put the front side wide receiver on a post and streak that fullback and have your same setup over here. Okay? And you're going to be hitting your post. Or not your post, your corner. Because the fullback's going to take the corner. That linebacker's not going to be able to get to that corner, and he's going to be wide open. Now, obviously, most of my tips are for MUT, Madden Ultimate Team. So most people have Hot Route Master QBs. If you don't have a Hot Route Master QB, then use hot routes on your players. So let's do that again. You still got you're doing two different sides here. You've got the front side with that corner, or if he's not using your tight end, you've got that. So that's what that looks like there. Now, as far as beaters go, especially this time of year, it's extremely hard to have any type of one-play touchdowns against cover 4. I do have a few. One that I use is PA scissors, okay? And the setup is you block the running back, put the left wide receiver on a flat, which is triangle or Y, and then you select him and then left trigger, so it looks like that. And then I will do the what's it called? The delay fade for the tight end, and I'll leave the fullback on that route. Okay, so if you watch the left safety, okay, watch how he acts here. So I'm going to motion him out. If you look, they come down. So it does work. If you got like Brandy Moss out there, it's even better, obviously. But another one you can do, if you do a fullback at wide receiver, it's basically a similar concept, but I feel like it's a little bit better. So you do all the same thing. You put the left wide receiver on the flat. You put the front wide receiver on a out, delay fade, and then put your fullback on the post. And then I would double that guy. That way you can roll out. And that's what that looks like there. Now, like I said, I wouldn't be using this very often because most people have 99 speed safeties. Even if they got zoned out there, this is going to be tough to do. But if you're in a spot, end of half, cover 4, they're running cover 4, and if they're not smart in adjusting it, that's what you can do. So that's it for cover 4. Let's go to cover 3 next. Okay, so let's see what it looks like against cover 3. So we'll choose cover 3, and when you're playing online, a lot of times when you come out of the huddle, this is what you're going to be looking at. Single high safety, your corners are backed off. It's when you see single high safety, it's either cover 1 or cover 3. And how you tell if it's cover 1 or cover 3, motion out your fullback. Now, if it's cover 1, the guy that goes out with the fullback, he'll go all the way out with him, and then the corner will stay on your wide receiver. That way it's man. But he didn't. So he went out, and then he lined up over top of the wide receiver. So it's cover 3. So the first thing I do, this is my base play that I use, like I said, I'm going to start hitting them in the flat with the fullback. So that I mean, I swerve catch so much, and you, I mean, it does. I mean, it feels a little cheesy, but listen, these defenses are really good. Okay, so if these guys are just going to sit in cover 3 and expect the CPU to make every play for them without making any adjustments, this is what you got to do: swerve catch, and you just take your free yards. Okay. Now, if they, some people, you know, they'll start adjusting. They'll either start usering that safety, or they'll put him in a hard flat, you know, or, you know, there's a few different things they could do. Okay, move him out more, etc., etc. So you might not be able to keep doing that. Now, if this is the way they look, one thing I like to do, look at that safety in the top. Okay, you can see we're lined up with the hash mark. He's to the left of it. The further left he is, the harder it's going to be for him to get over the top of anyone streaking down the middle. Okay, so a beater that I like to use against cover 3 where they are offset like this is I put the fullback on a comeback. Now, when you look at, if you're at 10 yards and you put him on a comeback, this is what it looks like. Now, if you're at 10 yards, I smart route it, which is right bumper. So it's triangle or Y, RB, and then right bumper. If you look at it, look how much shorter that is. Okay, that'll cause the corner to stay down earlier, allowing you to throw the wide receiver quicker, which we're going to do over the top. We're going to throw it to the streak. Now, if the safety has zoned out, or they move him over, you might not be able to get this off. Okay, but if they have either like a slower safety, or not zoned out, or they are lined up way to the left there, like maybe they base aligned and then brought down that safety, this is what you're looking at. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to double team. Well, first I'll slide my line left, I'll double team, and then I will ID the defensive end. That way I can roll out right. Because if you roll out right, it's a lot easier to pass lead this play. So let's see what this looks like. So get that, and then Tom Brady just, you know, inaccurate throw. But if you can see how wide open that would have been. Let's try it again here. So that's what the play looks like. And set up. I mean, you should be setting up your blocking like almost every play, just because, you know, it makes it a lot easier. And if he makes an accurate, if you've got dashing deadeye, it's a touchdown. I do this play all the time. It can be easy touchdowns. This is it. See? Now, you don't have to roll out, especially if they don't have like a zoned out safety, or they've got the guy lined up really far to the left. Like if, let's say, they've like base aligned it, but it's a lot safer. But if you can't, let's say, you know, they've got a guy, you know, a fucking demon over there, you can just try and pass lead it, but it's not as good. Okay, it only works most of the time when if that safety was over to the left more. Okay, let's look at another cover 3 here. Now, I'll show you. I'll show you what happens when the safety is over. So now we are into a new cover 3 where the safety on the left is responsible for the middle third. So this is especially going to happen if people don't flip their plays on their cover 3. Like if they have auto flip on, and you notice that, oh, the backside safety is the one responsible for the middle third. You can also run this play, but you don't have to roll out. So watch this. It's completely busted, completely wide open. So keep an eye. One thing that people do, I'll show you real quick on defense. One trick to keep an eye on. Okay, so I'll flip plays. I'll flip sides actually, real quick. Okay, so one thing you're going to see sometimes from people who aren't very good is somebody will come out in cover 3, and then they will base align their defense, okay? So they think that, that's better, okay? If you see someone, a lot of times people do it right when they come out. So if somebody's running cover 3, and then you see that happen, okay? Let's snap the ball. But a lot of times you'll see somebody will come out, you'll see a single high safety, and then they'll instantly do that. It's either they've audibled to cover 2 really quick, which some people do, okay? So be careful, but 90% of the time, they're just base aligning, okay? So when you see that, whenever I see that, I motion out my fullback and I run that beater immediately, because this safety right here is so far away from the middle, okay? He's going to have, even if he's zoned out, 99 everything, he's going to have an incredible time getting over there. Now, one other thing to keep an eye on is sometimes people put their corners into deep halves, okay? They'll put either both corners or just one corner. But keep an eye on that. If that happens, then your underneath stuff will be a lot more wide open. So, don't just throw interceptions. Don't trust it. Just don't blindly trust it. But, a lot of people don't do that. So if they come out and they do that baseline, run that beater. Okay, it's going to be wide. Now, one final cover 3 sort of quirk that I want to go over is what happens when the safety and the cornerback sort of swap zones, okay? Now, you'll see this happen sometimes when you motion out your fullback, and I'll show you what it looks like, okay? So when you motion out this fullback, you notice first the safety goes out, and then the corner goes back, and then the safety sort of backs off, okay? And the cornerback comes up. What they've done is they've swapped zones. So if we try to throw this in the flat here, watch what... Now, normally, when you're running against cover 3, that corner's got the deep third, okay? And Jamal Adams is supposed to be, up. But when you come against cover 3 and you see that sort of action where they sort of swap, watch what happens. That corner's there. Now, you might be able to still get the play off, but it's super dangerous. The good thing about this is it's extremely easy to punish. Okay, so motion out that fullback, and look, okay, we see it. Oh, okay, they've swapped. Now, the dumb thing about this is Joel Adams is supposed to be covering the third, but he's, for whatever reason, when they get swapped like this, it's super bad. He does not cover that third well at all. So watch what happens. Watch him, and look how wide open this street gets. He basically doesn't guard it. He goes back and get like 10 yards, and then he starts to head towards the sideline. Okay? So, and look, on this play, the safety even goes towards the middle. So you would think this should not get wide open. We don't have a route that brings down, like we still got the guy in the flat. We don't have a route bringing down the safety or bringing him outside, but for whatever reason, he gets glitched out, and he doesn't guard that. So it's a huge play, easy huge play. Set it up real quick here. So just get used. Watch what those players do, and go back earlier in the video, and you can see how they normally act. So when you see this, now it can happen at I don't know what causes this. If someone knows, please let me know. But I haven't been able to replicate it very much. Like, I don't know what causes this to happen, but it's super easy to get a TD out of it. So keep an eye on that. Finally, what I do want to show you is an easy beater. Okay, so if you see them in cover 3, come out in PA scissors. Okay, put your backside wide receiver on a corner. Block your running back. I would like, I don't know, maybe you basically do whatever you want with the other players, but maybe put these guys like this. The only important thing is the backside flag, and then the post. So this is how this looks. And he's going to get wide open. So a deep post coming across, and then a corner on the backside to pull down the safety. I mean, basically any formation, any play with a deep post, like look, deep corner, it's the same thing. So any post with a backside corner, it's going to be a TD, unless they deep half their corners. So that's cover 3. Let's move to cover 2. Okay, so let's come out in cover 2 and see what this looks like. So first thing, looking at the defense, you think it's probably either cover 4 or cover 2. But we'll motion out our fullback. And when you look at it, one thing with the cover 4 is they were within 5 yards of each other. Now, if you look at where they're lined up, they're basically 7 yards. Okay, so this is probably cover 2. And that outside linebacker is probably in a hook zone. So let's just see what it looks like. Let's say we think it's cover 4, but it ends up being cover 2. So let's say we get tricked here. Let's see what this play looks like. So we look out there at the corner. We can instantly see it's covered. Okay, boom, hit your post. That's why I like this play. Just to come out in, it's a safe play. You see what they're in. Okay. Now, we see, let's say they're running cover 2 a bunch. Or we come out, now we see it's cover 2. What do we do? Okay. Well, a good cover 2 beater that I like to run is, I think I've done a Twitter video on this, but so this is what we do. If you're looking for a bomb for cover 2, you put this backside wide receiver on a corner. You put your tight end on a trail, or you can delay fade him. I like doing a trail. That way the user doesn't want to go back, cover the middle. But if you want to do a delay fade, you can do that too. The frontside wide receiver, we put him on a corner, and then the fullback. Now, this is only good if you've got a wide receiver at fullback. I'll show you one without wide receiver at fullback. But you put this guy in a post, and this is what the play looks like. So, see how wide open this gets. And it gets wide open, but I get shedded. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Now, let's say they're running cover 2 a bunch, and I know that they're coming out in cover 2. I come out here, I see they're in cover 2. You can tell by the way they're aligned. The safeties are about 7 yards away down the field. Then the corners, boom, probably cover 2. Okay, so what I like to audible to, first of all, is PA scissors. Okay, this is a good cover 2 beater. I've done this. I've shown a YouTube video of this, but I'll show you the setup for this. So put the backside wide receiver on a corner. Put the frontside wide receiver on a corner. Oh, shoot, I messed up. No, you don't. Okay. Put the backside wide receiver on a corner. Okay. Put the tight end on a trail. Put the fullback on a wheel. Block your running back. And this is what the play looks like. And we'll motion snap the wide receiver. And a lot of times you can get a touchdown on this. I've gotten many touchdowns with this play. So that's a good cover 2 beater. Now, some other beaters out of the Oakland playbook that I like to audible to is we'll go to left twice and go to I-form H slot. And this is already on the audible, so you don't even have to change anything. But go to PA flood. Okay? So we'll come out like this. And a few quick adjustments here. So put the tight end on a streak. Put the fullback on a flat to the right. That way, if they're in sync or anything like that, he keeps the corner down. I like to put this circle wide receiver on a post. just to, get the user's attention, and motion over the post here. That way it turns into a corner. And so that is a really good one. Now, another one that I like to audible to, you go right twice, and it's weak close flex, and PA boot shot. And we're going to do a similar concept. So we're going to block the running back twice. That way he does a normal block. We're going to put the tight end on a streak. And we're going to put the square wide receiver on a post again. Now we're going to motion snap this circle wide receiver. So another very similar concept. And again, wide open. Now you can also do this. Let's say you're in. Now you can do this when you're on the left hash, but it's better to do it when you're in the middle of the field. That way you have a little more room. But you can also do this out of PA scissors. So we'll put the left wide receiver on a streak. We'll put the tight end on a post. Or we can put him on a post. Or no, what I like to do this. You put the fullback on that. Maybe delay fade the tight end, and then we'll motion over the wide receiver. And same thing. Now, this is better if you're not short side. So if you're, a lot of times I'll do this, like because most of my plays I run from, I have my guys to the strong side of the field. But if I happen, let's say I run the ball and I get in the middle of the field, and I know they're in cover two, boom, I'll hit them with that. So that's another really good cover two beater. Quick cover two I want to go over with you is the pinch dog press, since this is a very popular play. So you come out, you motion out your fullback, and you see, it's probably pinch dog. So I audible to my PA scissors and do a quick setup for the beater. Now for this one, you do not need. This is a lot easier to do. Okay, so if you want to motion out your fullback, you can. If not, that's fine. If you want to keep him in the block, that's good too. So with this one, the good thing is it's you don't have to worry about like a mid read or something, coming over. But one thing you're going to want to do, put that tight end out there like that, and then motion snap. Oh shit. But yeah, look how wide open that gets. And bad pass, whatever. But for the pinch dog, it's a lot easier to beat it down the middle. You just have to. Now, one thing I like to do is if I have a wide receiver fullback, I'll block my tight end. That way I have more blockers. I'll put my corner or my front side wide receiver on a corner, and then my fullback on a post. And this gets, I've done this a ton of time to people who do the pinch dog. So it's wide open. Okay, so that's what I like to do against cover two. Cover two is probably the hardest defense if someone is good to beat. I mean, there's lots of other cover twos. I'll post more cover two beaters. I'm always looking for cover two beaters, so I'll be posting more. But that's the basics of recognizing cover two and what to do against cover two. They are weak down the sideline, so deep corners are very good against them. So next we're going to move on to man. And a lot of times when I come out to begin a game, I'll come out in strong close, and my opponent will come out in man immediately. A lot of times it's edge blitz, because people who are in strong close or in the Oakland playbook, they run lock. So that's another good thing about being in strong close and passing, is people expect the run. So you can get the jump on someone who are expecting, just expecting you to run. So come on edge blitz and we'll see what this looks like. So looking at it here, we can tell, okay, it's probably either cover 3 or cover 1, okay, because we got a single high safety. So how do we tell what it is? We motion out our fullback. And look, the safety goes out with the fullback, telling you, okay, it's man. So what does this mean? Posts and flags are going to kill this. So whenever I see this, I do this setup immediately. Okay? I'm putting my backside wide receiver on a curl. That way my tight end can get a lot of good freedom over the middle. But who I'm mostly looking at is my wide receiver on the strong side, because I've got abilities on him. Post flag elite. He's going to torch man. So we'll see what this looks like, and boom, wide open, and you can get big plays with it. So if you get good at recognizing man, people will stop running it against you. So, and you can throw this pretty early, before he's even broke it, like, a step or two before he breaks it, you can throw it. Because, a lot of times when people are blitzing you, they're bringing the heat. So let's go against another blitz here. Let's say you're playing someone who, pinch bucko, something like that. So we'll try that. Where is it? I don't run it, so I don't. Okay, pinch bucko. Okay, so this is what it looks like. We motion out our fullback, and boom, we see pinch bucko. Okay, so same setup. Okay, now if you're worried, okay, about not being able to block it all, you can bring back your fullback and you can block him. I don't do that just because I know I'm getting the ball out fast, but you can block him that way. You have more room and it's safer. Okay, so if you're in strong close, people are running man against you. Even if you know they're running man, you can, a zig route real quick. Oh, I fucked up. I forgot to block my fullback. But if I know they're in man, okay, so I'll put this guy on a zig, this guy on a hook, and he's going to torch it. So, but the corner is what you're really looking for. That the zig is good if you don't have route chems, but if you got route chems, boom, corner this bitch and kill him. If they user it, okay. So a lot of times, the single high safety. Let's say you were in edge blitz. If they were in edge blitz, if they got the single high safety, if you see them heading towards the corner, obviously, boom, just hit the tight end, okay, because he's gonna be wide open too. But cover one or man, anything like that, you could torch them. I mean, it's so easy. So they'll stop running man, or you'll beat them. Now, finally, I want to finish this by showing you the cover four palms beater. Some people, if you're playing someone and you're slicing and dicing, they run cover three, you start throwing to the flats, you make them get out of that. Cover two, you start running the beaters, they get out of that. Sometimes people will start mixing in cover four palms. And thankfully with strong close, it has an absolute fire beater. Now, I have a video dedicated to this play, but I'll just show you real quick if you're here. You just motion out the fullback, block the running back, and this is what the play... Oh, and streak the strong side wide receiver. This is what the play looks like. And the wide receiver is going to get butt naked, stanky, wide open. Look at that. Even Tom Brady told us wide open. So, whenever I play someone and they come in my palms, they run it one play and then they're done running it because it's a touchdown basically every time. And finally, I just wanted to finish up by the good thing about strong close is it forces people to come out in 3-4 odd, 3-4 bear, these heavy defenses. And if you pass out a strong close, they may decide, oh, okay, he's just a passer. I'll go to 1-4-6, 2-3-6, dime, anything like that. Don't be afraid just to run it down their throats if they do that. This is a good run. You just audible and just run it down their throats. Make them get into 3-4, bear, odd, anything like that. Don't let them sit here, in their stupid 1-4-6 and think that they can get away with it. So If you come out and you see them, if you're looking at this, just audible to a run. Okay? That's all you got to do. So, that's the video. I hope it was useful to some of you. I tried to go through each formation and show you how to tell what the opponent is running, and maybe some quick tips on how to beat that. Now, if you're going against someone who's good, who knows how to disguise their defenses or makes their adjustments, obviously there's an extra level above what I've shown you here. This isn't gonna this is not an end-all be-all. What this video is designed to do is get you above the bottom level. If you're trying to learn how to play, and you maybe, let's say you play Weekend League and you win, 10 games each week, 12 games each week, 8 games each week, 6 games, whatever. Okay? How you take that next step up to adding a few games to your Weekend League total is seeing what defense they're in and punishing them for that defense. So this obviously doesn't just apply to strong close. These concepts apply to all different formations, so you can apply it to that. But I really appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, feel free. Hit me up on Twitter. Comment. My Twitter handle is SnellD58. S as in Sam, N as in Natalie, ELLD as in Doug, 58. Hit me up on Twitter or message me in the comments. I'm free to answer questions. I'll be happy to. On my PlayStation Network ID is OBDougKenobi, OBIDOUGKEN0BI. Feel free. If, maybe you want a lab, hit me up. Also, the best resource, bgfam on Twitter, B as in boy, G, F as in Frank, A, M as in Mary on Twitch, also on Twitter. It's bgfam56. But he is a great channel. He runs this offense. This is where I got my offense from. I run a whole bunch of other plays that I haven't shown you, but all those plays I got from him. And I don't, they're his. I don't want to, show his stuff. But go to him. He's got a great ebook. You can get all the good stuff from there. So this is sort of just a supplement to his offense. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Again, any questions, hit me up. But hope you have a great day.